Hello and welcome to December 1st. Happy December. It is time for probably one of my favorite challenges that I do all year. I have been doing since 2020. So in December of 2020, I decided that I wanted to create a little something every day because usually December is a very busy time. And I was trying to challenge myself that I could fit in some creative time a little bit every day, just 15 minutes every day. And at the beginning of December, I started getting some Christmas cards in the mail. I still have a pretty good handful of people who send me Christmas cards. And one of them was my mom. And she had actually given me for the past couple of years, I think she started in 2018 doing this, on Thanksgiving, and she did this year. On Thanksgiving, she came over, hello there, Sue, and she brought a gift bag. So Thanksgiving is a little bit early for a gift bag, but in the gift bag was an entire set for the entire month of December of cards that she had made. So in 2018, I got to open up a card every day in December, a card that my mom had made and she had dated, put in there. And I did that in 2019. So in 2020, I had a set of cards and I was getting cards in the mail. So I just decided to take a card, and this is the one that I opened up this year on Thanksgiving. And I decided to take a card and use it for inspiration to create a little something every day. And it became something so fun to take the card and figure out what the inspiration was that I was going to use to create the page. So I'm going to show you the past 4 journals that I have done. So these are all 4 of my past journals for December, and I'm going to show you how I kind of prep for the month so that I really can come in and just work for about 15 or 20 minutes and complete a page. I have my journal ready, so I'm going to use a red journal this month, and I believe this is one, I have a couple of things in here that I was going to use for something else, but I don't think that I have, maybe just a couple of things in here. So I'm going to prep a little bit today and show you kind of how I do that. I am going to open up December's card. So, oh, you know what? I just realized, oh my goodness, she had cards for the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And then there's not a November 31st, but I have a card for that. And I have December 1st. So I'm actually going to open up these 5 cards today. I didn't realize that there were cards. I thought they started on December 1st. So she made some extra cards. Now I'm so excited because I'm going to have choices of those cards. And I opened up this one on Thanksgiving. And this is the one that I kind of had in mind that I was going to use for inspiration, but I'll show you the other ones too. So first thing, if you're going to complete this challenge and try this challenge with me, basically you're going to grab a Christmas card. It can be a card that you've gotten in the past. It can be a card that you receive in the mail. It can be a handmade card. It can be a card from the Dollar Tree. It can even be a birthday card. Just some kind of card, because the card has already been designed. It has already been created with a layout, with a composition, with colors, and all of those kinds of things. And you're going to use it for inspiration, because tell me if this is true for you. Sometimes what takes me the longest is coming up with the idea, is deciding what it is that I want to do. It's how to get started, right? Those are the things that take a lot of time and they keep me from creating, because I go down that rabbit hole of looking on Pinterest, or I get sidetracked and I lose focus. the benefit of having a card is you already have something that is an inspiration for you. And I'm going to talk to you about the different things that you can use for inspiration. It's not necessarily trying to copy the card. You can do that. You can use it exactly. I tend to use it something from the card as inspiration. So you can do this challenge however you want. But having the card takes a lot of the pressure away. It takes a lot of the time-consuming part of deciding what to create. Hello there, Kathy. So you have to get a journal. You have to decide on the journal that you're going to use and just go with it. You also have to decide if you're going to use it vertically or you're going to use it horizontally. And I'm going to show you the couple of books that I have done in the past where I've done both, or I've just kept it all one direction, or, and I've just like changed it up. So I did not keep the cards in my book. Though you could do that too if you wanted to keep the cards in there. I've had other people do the challenge and they keep the card in there. However, I have taken a lot of photos with the card, and I will be putting those in Art Journaling 101. So if you were in that group, that's where you can post your photos of the challenge. That's where you can use the hashtag Christmas Card Challenge, because if you're in the group, then that way you can actually search that hashtag and see all the ones from the past. From 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, and now this year for 25. So that would, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Maybe I should have 5 books now that I think about it. I might have to go look to see if I have a 5th one. I just have 4 over here, I believe. No, I have 5. I have 5. So this one, I don't know that I have the date in here of when I created this one. So now I am I think this was 2 or 3 years ago. I don't have any date in there. But basically, I kept this one vertical. And I just did the one side. I didn't do anything on the back. And this was just a journal or a sketchbook. I think it's like a mixed media pad. Yeah, actually, because I didn't do the cover. If I would have done the cover, I probably would have put the year on there and I would have known. If I look at my other ones, I can probably guess. This is one of my favorite ones of the Santa with this collage on here. So one of the things that I do to prep is I start grabbing some cards, because sometimes you might not get a card in the mail. Sometimes you might not have a stack of envelopes like this to open to use for inspiration. So I've gotten some from the Dollar Tree. I keep some of my ones from the past. I have, different Christmas cards I've sent in the past. So I kind of grab some of those and I use those for inspiration. So this is from a couple of years ago, and I kept this one vertical. This one was a watercolor book that I did. And I don't see the year in this one either. I'm going to have to make sure that I put the year, and I didn't, put anything on the cover, but I think this one was probably 2 years ago. That one was probably 3. So maybe this is 23. So I just use some inspiration from the cards, and I just design on the one side. Can you see the sparkle on and this is actually a little puffy, like a felt dot. So it's like 3-dimensional in there, but you see the glitter on the hat there. I've even made some where they are little pockets. So there's little things in there, and sometimes I will write on there. You could definitely write on the, the back side, the side facing it. This was a little tiny journal that I used, and I do have the cover on this one. This was 2021, and I actually dated these in the corner so that I know, like what day. So some of them are painted, some are collaged. This is just the thickness of the paper. I will use washi tape. I will use stickers. This is actually a piece of either a calendar or it was like a photograph, like from a magazine or something. So sometimes I will just see a design that kind of like, sometimes they're just very simple. This one was probably, I'm trying to think if this was like one of the very first ones that I did. Let me see if I have, I dated this, oh, I'm looking for, they just have, I think this one was November and December together. So let me kind of get to, yeah. So I have like my little tag here, but sometimes this one was, I think this one might have been 2020. This might have been the very first one because this was leftover pieces. Sometimes I write more in there. Sometimes it'll be a 2-page spread in there. Sometimes I use like little die cut things. This is probably one of the ideas that I've used several times with the tree on there. Tell me if you have done, and see, I actually wrote a little bit, I put the day and I wrote and like journaled a little bit, so you can do that too. Tell me if you have done this challenge before. Okay, so this one was 2022. So maybe that first one was from last year. I need to go back. If you're in Art Journaling 101, I will have some of the photos from the past year so you'll be able to see. So this one was from 2022, and this one I decided to do horizontally. So I, would take the photo with the card up here, and then it would be at the bottom. And that changed a lot of how I did the pages because it was turned horizontally. But since you're just using things for inspiration, this is one of my favorite papers that I had. I don't even know how I made that one. But then, sometimes I would have to turn the page because I couldn't make a tree fit right in that space. So it can turn whatever direction you want. Look for flip throughs of those books because I will be doing that as we go through. Let me go ahead and show you these cards that I'm going to be using for inspiration. This was the one that I opened up on Thanksgiving, and it is one of those embossed cards. There's so many different things that I could use for inspiration. I could use all red, and I could make it an ornament instead of a tree if I wanted. I could use this idea of the little spirally tree, but just make it in my own colors. I could use the idea of it being embossed, and I could use a tree stencil, a Christmas tree stencil, and use some texture paste and make it look like it's embossed. Just from this one card, there are multiple different things that I could use for inspiration. Maybe I could just do a Christmas tree in my own way. If you are anything like me, like I talked about, the Pinterest hole that you go down, you just keep looking and looking, and sometimes I'll be kind of just like looking for inspiration. I did see an idea for a Christmas tree. It would be completely different, but I would be using the inspiration of the Christmas tree being the main design element of the card. It can be whatever it is that you want. And I feel like when we've done this challenge in the past, that has been, hi there, Gail. That has been one of the things that people have liked the most, that they have a way to get started. They have an idea. They have a direction that they're going. Even if that means you are really just copying the card. So if you wanted to have like a glittery red or shiny metallic red paint, you wanted to use a tree stencil that you had so it looked embossed and it was all just in red and it looked very much like that card, you can do that. You could draw that little spirally tree. This one has so many ideas of how I could use it for inspiration. Okay, I'm excited now because I get to open up all of these cards, and then I'm going to show you how I prep, and then I'll decide which one of these I want to use. I'm usually very careful about how I want to open up the envelopes because, you know, you can reuse the envelopes, right? So, but this one does not seem like it wants to open. So I have a pair of scissors. I'm just going to see. I think I have one of those letter opener thingies. I don't see where it is over here. So I'm just going to open it this way. Sometimes she uses stickers. My mom starts on these cards like the day after Thanksgiving. Like she may have already started for next year's cards. Oh, this one is so pretty. Look with the cardinal on there. I would definitely be able to use that as inspiration. And then she does usually do some writing and things on the inside or use a sentiment stamp or something in there. Oh, I love the cardinal one. Okay, so now I have a tree and a cardinal. So this one has a sticker on there. So I should just be able to pull the sticker off. And I could reuse the sticker, you know, on my page if I wanted. Oh, this one has some sparkles. Oh, this one's so pretty. So this has the gold on there. It has these little gems, which I think I have some of those. These little gold stars. And then it opens. So this is actually the back side of the card with the paper there. That's such a fun little card. She has all kinds of different ideas. So I could definitely use that one and use that as an idea in my, for the challenge to do like a flap kind of idea like that. So I love that idea. And I will just keep them in, you know, in the order. So this is November 30th. And see what this one is. So far, which one would you use for inspiration? I have the tree, the cardinal, or the gold. Hi there, Lori. And is it Jeannie or is it Jean? I never know with the two N's if you pronounce like how you pronounce them. Oh my gosh, this one is so cute. This is really detailed. It is like a little die cut. This is a little die cut. This is, how cute is that? Oh, I definitely like the reindeer. I'll have to use that as an idea. My journal that I have, I think has extra pages, so I could actually do some extra pages. This is my little bonus card here. But which one would you use so far? Would you use the tree for inspiration, the cardinal? Now I have the reindeer or the gold with the little flap. Which one would you use for inspiration? I'll have to remember to bring my little envelope opener. Is that what you call it? Oh, this one's very pretty. Let me see. I have to make sure this way. Oh, it opens this way. Very pretty with that blue. It's almost like a metallic, like a shiny little snowflakes. I think these are stickers, and then that little gem on there to make that one stand out. I love the idea of the layering with the embossed and the snowflakes. I really like that one. And the colors. Those are definitely like my mom's colors. That turquoise or teal blue, definitely. And then this one is actually the one for today. And it has a snowflake sticker on there, which if I can keep those intact, then I can use those too. Luckily, these stickers are not usually the really like sticky ones. You know, the ones that... Yesterday we were at church and we serve at the coffee bar at church. And they have these little name tags for us to wear. They are so sticky. Can't even get them off of our clothes. Oh, this one is very pretty. So this is another one that opens horizontally. And look, with the sled, it's kind of like a smaller version of that other one. And then these little stickers are silver, which I love silver and blue and black together. And then a little Merry Christmas. So this layered paper, like with the border and the frame around there. Very pretty. So I have, how many different cards is that now? I have 6 different cards that I can use for inspiration. So I will decide which one of those, but I want to show you how I make this really simple. So I have the cards, I keep the bag, and oh, hit my little stand. And I have a little basket. I don't see, I have a little basket of like cards, you know, that I can keep. So when I take them out, I will put them in the little basket. So then I kind of have them all together. So I have a little spot on my table where I can keep the cards, and I can keep the bag that I'm opening up the cards. Then what I also have, and I did this for October when I did the pumpkin challenge, and I did it for November when I was doing the leaf challenge, which I am almost finished. I did a couple of pages last night. Look how thick it's getting. I might have to put something, because I've been putting extra paper in there. It's getting very thick. But what I do is I kind of go around and gather all the things that I might use for that month. So for November, I have this little basket. I have this little pink basket, and I started putting things in here that I thought that I might use for November. And I actually had a bag. So I need to put this back in that basket. I had a bag that says leaves, and I just have all of my different leaves, and I kind of keep them in there. So like I knew that I would probably use this stamp. So I put that in the basket. So for December, since I'm going to be starting on the December Christmas card challenge book, I'm going to have my journal, I'm going to have my cards, and I have this little red little storage thingy. And I started pulling things that I thought that I might use. Hi, good morning, Sharon. Kathy says she can't decide, but yeah, the tree, I'm going to look through here, and this might decide which one I do. So I started going around and I started collecting things that I thought that I might use. And one of the things I started collecting was napkins. I have some napkins that I've gotten for like our place settings, you know, that we actually, and then I got some that are specifically that I bring into my craft room, that I bring into my studio. So this is one of my Christmas napkins. Look how well that would work for the tree, right? I could use that, maybe have a red background, maybe, I don't know, but I'll definitely use that one. If I have a card that has the truck and the tree, I could use the letters on that one. This gray background, just the solid color of the napkin. This one I thought that I would probably use because it has the gold. And I think this can make a great background or something that I could layer over. Like if I wanted to use the gold card, I could use that napkin, right? Kathy says she uses a gallon plastic bag. I love that idea. And then you can put everything in there. Oh, very good. Very good. This one with the snowflakes, there were several of those cards that had the snowflakes, or I could use it for the all red, you know, so this You know, and once you unfold these napkins, depending on how they're made, like this one has the red just on the one side, you know, so it might be limited for me to cover a whole page with it, unless I like started ripping it up or something. Here is a larger one with the blue. This one is like a very detailed napkin. So some of these I just have single napkins. Oh, here's another one of those trees. And then this one I thought was just such a fun napkin. And on the other side, it has the gold on there. Napkins are definitely something fun. I grabbed these little snowflake stencils. So I can use these with texture paste or with, you know, paint and actually stencil those. So I figured I would probably use the snowflake stencils. This is a little stencil, and I could use this, right, with the tree if I wanted to use that first one as the inspiration. And this one has the lines, so you could journal and use those lines however you want it in there. But this stencil I have had, if it tells you anything, it's a Creative Memories item. And Creative Memories as a scrapbooking company has not been in business for a long time. They've kind of transitioned to more like digital. So I've had this for a long time. I pulled some little things like this, some little tags. This is one that I have that has a snowflake in there. So I've punched that out before and used the red snowflakes. I've used it for a stencil. I've used it to trace the tag. So I have a whole package of those. And then other little tags. I got these one year at like Michael's, and I've used these over and over again for the oval shape, for an ornament. They're like a nice heavy cardboard, so I've covered them and actually made ornaments out of them, you know. And you can, you know, I could put something like that in my journal. I have these size tags, so I've used these before and put in my journal, or even just traced around and be able to use the shapes. I also have some other little things like this, just giving you ideas of, you know, these are punched out shapes. That one's in silver. And some of these are on stickers. So I would just be able to peel off the backing. But sometimes I've used these in the color that they are. But sometimes I'll just flip them over, you know, and just use the back and design them how I want to. And paint over them or whatever. So I have all kinds of little things like that. And then I pulled out some of my different washi tapes that are sparkly, or like the music ones that I thought that I might use. That red and white is almost gone because I've used that several times. Ones that have like some sparkle. So I kind of gathered all of those together in there so that I would kind of have all of that together. You could grab your gold markers, your silver markers, you know, a Sharpie, some of your paints. You could have kind of everything all in a basket. You know, that little pink basket was from like the Dollar Tree. These are heavier duty baskets that I got at like IKEA maybe, or something, or Amazon or something. But you could have everything all together. So when you sat down at your table, you pick a card and you kind of have everything in there, so you don't have to look all around your studio. You don't have to go searching for things in your creative space, which is what takes a lot of the time. You already have kind of everything together. So in my book, I am going to prep a little bit before I kind of get started, because I want to see how many pages there are in here, because I'm thinking that so it doesn't get as thick as my November book, I might actually take out a page, like every other page or something. So I'm not going to get started on a page during the video here, because the other thing that I wanted to tell you about, I will post some flip throughs of my December journals, get into Art Journaling 101, because there's already a photo in there of probably like 12 photos of ideas. Sometimes people will post photos of cards for other people to use for inspiration. And so get into Art Journaling 101. I will post a photo of my day one, whichever one of the cards I, decide to use out of these 5 here. And, but the other thing that I wanted to tell you is I have the Art Journaling 101 group, which is my group for really kind of sharing what I show here on this public business page. But I also have a group with 5 other artists called the Create-a-thon Community. You can let me know if you are in that group, because inside that group, over this weekend, which today is Cyber Monday, is that right? I think it's considered Cyber Monday. It's like the biggest shopping weekend of the year. And the artists and I in the Create-a-thon community decided to do something for all of the people in that group and to do kind of a live sale over the weekend. So I did my live sale on Black Friday, on this past Friday, and I had a big assortment of stencils, and I had some prints that I have done, and I had a mystery box of some mixed media materials, and I also had deals for joining my Start Creating membership and my Engagement Made Easy membership for creative business owners, and also my Vision Masterclass that I'm doing next Tuesday. So what is a Vision Masterclass? It is my upgraded version of a vision board workshop. And we're going to be doing that next Tuesday, and it will be inside of a Facebook group that I'll be opening up this week, and you will have access to all of the resources that I use to do my planning for the next year. Whether you are a creative business owner, whether you have some goals that you want to plan out and figure out how to make those happen for 2026, or wherever you are and kind of planning out and being intentional about next year, this workshop is where we're going to, I'm calling it a masterclass because it is my just upgraded version of what I've done in the past couple of years, all in one place. I have done a Word of the Year workshop. I have done a list of 100 dreams. I have done all of these different things along with a vision board workshop separately. This is all together. This is all together in the masterclass, and you're going to have a workbook that I'm going to put into the group that you'll be able to print out and work along. And what I'm doing is kind of a check-in through the year. So you will get an email every month to kind of check in to see where you are with your goals. So I'll be kind of holding you accountable through the year to your goals and your vision board that you've set up for 2026. So that workshop is next Tuesday. You can get into the Create-a-thon community, and there is a special code if you are in that group. If you are not in there yet, just make a comment. I believe that everybody that I've seen pop onto the live so far and make a comment is in that group. So if you would like to join that workshop, I did give a special code inside that group. So get inside the group so that you can get that special code so that you can join us next Tuesday. We're going to be on Zoom, so you'll be able to ask me questions, be able to be actually live with me rather than just watching on live here. And I'm going to have 2 different times next Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, and also I think I was doing 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. I think that those are the 2 times. So you can come to one, you can come to both. But I wanted to give 2 different times just to give options of, people being able to be there. Also in that Create-a-thon community group, I have a giveaway for a box, a mystery box valued at least $50. And you can go watch my video and figure out how to enter into that. And I'm going to be drawing a name on this Thursday for that. So lots of things going on, and I am definitely going to take some time. I'm headed to the post office to mail out some of the things that people have purchased during that live sale on Friday. So after I come back, that will be when I will sit down and kind of create something. So I hope that your December 1st has started off well. I really do want to encourage you to join us in the Christmas card challenge, because December can be a busy month, and it is important for you to take some time to be creative. And the Christmas card challenge, picking a card, kind of having all of your supplies already together and having a focus on what to create, you really can come in and create something in 15 or 20 minutes, and have that time for yourself and not feel like the entire month of December went by and you didn't take care of your creative self and you didn't make time for that bit of creativity and, making gifts and things for everyone else, but not taking care of yourself and giving that gift of that 15 or 20 minutes to yourself. So I cannot wait to start seeing the Christmas card challenge ideas in the Art Journaling 101 group, and I hope that you get over there and join us too. So I'll see you there.